8:30. We are going to start session 2, eXp Explained, eXp Overview. My name is Tony Hughes, and I will be the presenter tonight. Thank you guys for joining. I'm going to get my screen here sharing. If I can pull that up, hang on one second. There we go. All right. And we want to welcome anyone on here tonight who is a guest. We know we have some friends on from other brokerages that are checking out the eXp opportunity. I want to just quickly tell a little bit about my background and we'll jump right into it. I'm going to go fast. I would encourage you to get back with the person that invited you on our Zoom tonight. If you have any other questions, I will do Q&A at the end of my presentation. So certainly feel free, unplugged. I don't care what questions you have, as long as they're not negative in nature. I will entertain any and all questions. That's my beautiful bride. I just ran in there real quick and gave her a kiss. So I probably have lipstick all over my lips. I didn't think about that. She was in there taking a little nap while I'm in here hosting. Jennifer just got her real estate license. My wife, we have only been married now for 20 months, but I met her when I was 13 years old, and we were going to get married actually in 1980, and things took us in different directions. And 40 years later, we find ourselves married. So it's just a great story. We'll have to tell you more details about that some other time. Those children down there you see underneath our picture, those are my kids from obviously my first wife. And I have 5 kids: Todd, Trey, Haley, Tate, and Savannah. I'm going to have my 5th grandchild here in just a few days, March 4th. My youngest daughter there in the middle, Savannah, is giving us our 2nd grandson. So we are super, did I say second? 3rd, excuse me, 3 grandsons and 2 granddaughters. My wife, Jennifer, has 14 grandchildren. So together we have 19 grandchildren. We're 61. We live in Idaho Falls, Idaho. We do a little bit of real estate. We build a team, and we try and have a lot of fun every single day. I mean, after all, we're still honeymooners. So, but I also ran 3 of the largest Keller Williams franchises in the state of Arizona. I did that for 4 years of my life. And I started off doing that without a real estate license and ended up just, it just became a natural fit for me. And this gentleman named Rob Flick, I knew who he was. I never met him, but he called me relentlessly for months. And every time the poor guy would call me, I'd stick him in voicemail because I knew he was going to call and try and pitch me on this new brokerage called eXp. And I was KW all the way. I wasn't interested. But Rob, I think it was on his 5th call to me that he got put into voicemail. He left a voicemail about wanting to take me out and play golf on his private golf course. Well, and he offered to pay. So that got my attention because I love to golf. And so I joined him and a gentleman named Scott Lewis on the golf course. And at the end of our game, they sat down and showed me what I'm about ready to show you guys. The difference is we've got a fancy PowerPoint. Rob Flick, I still have his note paper. This is the scratch paper that he literally drew out the model for me on at that clubhouse back in April of 2019, I guess. So anyway, I've been here with eXp now going on, it'll be 4 years, July 1st. So still fairly new with the company. Had a great experience with Keller Williams, learned everything I know really about real estate from that great organization, and frankly was never, ever interested in leaving Keller Williams until I saw this model that you guys are about ready to see tonight. When I saw it, I knew that I was staring at the future of real estate, and I didn't want these 2 guys that were pitching me to know how excited I was. So I kept a very stoic face. But inside I was doing backflips because I said, this is the model that I have been looking for my entire freaking career. And I didn't want them to know that at the time, but it's true. That's just it. The model is just perfect for my style of doing business. And I hope you see the value here tonight as we go through these slides. I'm going to do something a little bit differently tonight. I'm going to start off talking about the money first, and then we're going to kind of jump into, what supports all of the compensation here at eXp. I will just tell you there, when I started at this brokerage in July, actually it was June of 20 19. It was right before, a year before COVID, smashed us all in the face. And I really, I just really, I just really wasn't necessarily interested in coming over here. But when I saw all the different elements of the model, I thought to myself, I would be an absolute fool to pass this up. I had a lot of colleagues. I tried to keep myself removed from drinking too much of the loyalty Kool-Aid. Those of you that know what I'm talking about, I tried to keep myself away from that too much so that I could keep a little bit of a better perspective. And I'm glad I did, because I could have been like a lot of my colleagues and just buried my head in the sand and let this life-changing opportunity pass me by. And I'm so thankful that I did not allow that to happen. I'm so grateful for Rob Flick and his persistence, his doggedness of not giving up on calling me, even though I never would take his calls. I just am so grateful that he just kept after it. And it was a great example for me to never quit, especially on talent. So we'll start off talking a little bit about the money. And really, this is one of the biggest reasons why me and so many thousands of other agents are coming over to eXp. When I started, there was 17,000 agents here, and that was in June of 19. Now we've got 88,000 agents. Why is that happening? Well, it's this right here. We get stock. If you're at RE/MAX, like our last speaker just talked about, we had I will say this a little bit with tongue in cheek, but we used to call them fee-max, not RE/MAX, because you got feed to death with all of the different fees. I mean, they charge you a desk fee and you don't even get a damn desk. Some of these franchises, right? So this is one of the biggest game changers that our founder created, and that is an equity program that allows the agents to own a piece of the company that they're out there representing. And I think it's genius. So every year when you close your first transaction after January 1, you're going to get your commission, and you're also going to get an award of stock, EXPI stock, which is on the NASDAQ. We're right there with the big boys, Microsoft and all the other big tech players that are on the NASDAQ. You're going to get $200 in shares of stock. Now, you can go look up our stock price. It's around $14, $15 a share. It's 3 times higher than it was in June of 19 when I started. So I'm really happy because I have a lot of shares from back then. But the reality is you get $200 in free money. That could be $15 today. A year from now, that stock could be worth $115 a share. We just have no idea, but to me, it has nowhere to go but up. And you'll understand why I say that, because we added 21 countries basically in 1 year to our international footprint. And once those 21 countries get up on plane, like we are in the United States and Canada, this company is going to literally be unstoppable. And our stock, to me, I'm not a predictor of stock. I'm not here to sell stock. But to me, this stock has nowhere to go but up. So to me, to be able to get your commission at RE/MAX or Coldwell Banker or Keller Williams, but to not get equity, to get ownership, that's why people are coming over here to eXp, because they get a better commission at eXp and they get ownership in the company, which has been unheard of in over 100 years until eXp Realty came along and Glenn Sanford made this incredible opportunity for us. The other way we can get stock is when we cap every year. That means we've generated $80,000 in gross income. We have a 20% split, meaning you keep 80% until you cap. And that cap is 20% of $80,000 in gross commission, which is $16,000. I don't care if you make $500,000, $800,000, or $100,000, you will never pay more than $16,000 a year to the company. And when you cap, the company awards you annually with another $400 in stock. So there's $600 in free money just for being at eXp, just for closing 6 or 7 deals a year, just to be what we call a capper, right? Another way that we're awarded stock at eXp is if we introduce the opportunity here at eXp with other realtor friends, and they decide to hang their license with eXp, and they name you as the person that showed them this opportunity. Maybe we call that person the sponsor. If you sponsor that person and they close their first deal, they're going to get $200. But as a thank you from Glenn Sanford, the CEO and founder of this company, you're going to be awarded $400 more in shares of stock. This is just manna from heaven falling out of the sky for doing what you're already doing at your current brokerage that you're not receiving this equity from. But the biggest game changer of all and for the whole industry. And I think this is why all the mega producers are pulling up stakes wherever they are now and coming to eXp, because they're tired of being tolerated and they want to be celebrated. And Glenn Sanford, our founder, created one of the greatest celebration programs ever in the history of real estate, and that's called the Icon Agent Award. When you become an icon, we just heard from Vaughn Krywicki, who was a guest speaker at our first segment tonight, just the hour before this. He's an icon agent. Matter of fact, I think it was 2 times. He's working on his 3rd year in a row now being an icon. When you become an icon, that means you capped, plus you did about 20 more transactions. We're going to call it 30 transactions just to be conservative. And I think that would cover most marketplaces in the United States of America, certainly. But once you cap and you do 20 more transactions, the company awards you $16,000 in company stock. Virtually the entire amount of money that you paid in out of your 20% split is coming back to you in stock. But most agents don't invest in the stock market. Every single agent that I talk to, I ask them, do you invest in the market? Are you a shareholder of any stock? The vast majority of people I talk to say, no, I don't do anything with the stock market. Well, you're going to get stock at eXp whether you want it or not, and you can convert it 3 years later to cash, and you may have got it awarded at $15 a share, but by the time you sell it, it could be at $150 a share. It could be at $80 a share, $90 a share. Whatever it is, that $16,000 could be worth 3, 4, 5, 6 times that amount of money. And that's why the smart agents are moving to eXp. Why work harder when you can work smarter? And that's what Glenn Sanford has developed here at eXp, is an opportunity to work smarter, not harder, and to generate a far bigger net worth than you could ever generate at any other brokerage, because you simply do not have equity opportunity at those other brokerages. The other piece of our equity opportunity is our agent equity program, which is a voluntary program. It's certainly optional when you can opt in and opt out at any time. The vast majority of our 88,000 agents and growing are part of our agent equity program. And as someone who ran 3 of the largest franchises in the state of Arizona with Keller Williams for 4 years of my life, here's 2 things I know about real estate agents. 1, they don't pay their taxes very well. And 2, a lot of them don't pay their child support. Now, how do I know this? Because I had a lady that was my CFO, and I'd go in her office and I'd see these letters from the IRS, individuals representing Satan. I'd see those letters, and then I would see letters from the Department of Economic Security. Sounds like an oxymoron. I would say, Stephanie, what are these letters from what is this Department of Economic Security? She said, well, that's our agents that aren't paying their child support. So when I saw this, I thought this is brilliant, because salespeople in general, I is one, so I speak with authority. I have been a professional sales agent since 1987. We are not very good at saving our money. We like to have fun. We like to spend that money. And so to me, this was a brilliant program that Glenn Sanford created called the Agent Equity Program, that allows agents to take 5% of their commission, give eXp permission to go buy the eXp stock for them at a 10% discount. So right off the bat, you're taking 5% of your, let's say you made $10,000. So $500, company goes and they figure out what the average of the stock is, and they buy that stock for you, but they buy it at a 10% discount. So you're winning already. And this stock, because it's money that you invested out of your paycheck, it's vested instantly. You can sell it immediately anytime you want. So if it goes up $10 a share and you've got 100 shares or whatever, you could sell that and make an extra $10 a share. To me, this is a built-in savings program for real estate agents, and we all need it. We all need that money just to go into an account, just let it sit there, not see it, so we can have that retirement income to be able to, finish out our lives without any financial stress whatsoever. So that's our equity program. The second program that Glenn Sanford, our CEO, came with was our agent referral program. We call it revenue sharing. Rob Flick said something to me that I'll never forget. I'm going to admit this person, Gloria. I don't know if someone could let her in. But Rob Flick said to me, he said, Tony, most agents list houses. I list agents. And I love that. I mean, different strokes for different folks, right? Rob's already been a sales guy for 40 years. So what was he trying to tell me? He was like, he was trying to tell me, Tony, you can go list houses and grind it out till you die, or you can list agents and get paid a little bit of money every time those agents that you quote unquote list or sponsor closes a deal, at least up until the point that they cap each year. So let me see if I can break it down, simplify to multiply here. Basically, any person that you bring to eXp, you're going to get 3.5% of their full gross commission as an agent referral. That's Glenn Sanford's way of saying, hey, listen, thank you for helping us grow the largest, most robust agent-centric brokerage on the planet. Here's 3.5% of that agent's gross commission. They made $18,000 gross. You get 3.5% of that, right? And that gets deposited in their bank account on the 22nd of the following month. Today happens to be our revenue share deposit day. Although, Tom, I don't know about you, but I got my deposit 4 days early. So we love our agent referral program. It's 100% optional. I will just be very transparent here. I'm going to skip a couple slides. I'm going to be transparent in the aspect that I have talked to over, well, I know it's over 800 or 900 agents at this point in the last 2.5 years about the eXp opportunity. And so many of those 800 or 900 agents that I've spoken to have made the comment, well, isn't eXp like an MLM brokerage? And that's the misinformation that our competition likes to put out there to try and scare people from leaving RE/MAX and Coldwell Banker and Keller Williams and coming to the fastest growing real estate company on planet Earth. They like to throw crap out there to, tarnish us and make it's like every other successful company. They said the same thing about Uber when Lyft came along, right? But Uber still does like $10 billion more per year than Lyft does. They got a long ways to go to catch up to the big rideshare giant there. But the revenue share program, you don't have to participate in it. It's totally up to you. You don't have to talk to agents about eXp, but for those of us that love our brokerage, we're passionate about our brokerage. It rewards us with an incredible lifestyle. We go out there and tell people about it, and they join eXp and they name us their sponsor. And for the rest of our life, as long as they're with eXp and selling houses, we get 3.5% of their gross commission, up to $2,800 per agent per year, unlimited. You can bring in as many agents over here as you want. So why is revenue share important? Well, here's a guy that's 61 years of age that, again, ran 3 KW franchises, and I had the dubious honor of getting to know about 1,000 agents personally between those 3 franchises. And out of those 1,000 agents, I can't tell you how many times my wife and I would be driving around on a Saturday or Sunday morning. We'd see some 78-year-old lady schlepping some open house signs in a super busy intersection in her skirt, in 113-degree weather at 9 o'clock in the morning in Scottsdale. And I would look at her and I'd say, you know what? There's an agent that's doing that because they have to, not because they want to. And they're doing it at that old age. And to me, that is not the way real estate should be done. I think you should go out there, make your money, and then go spend the rest of your life with your family and enjoy your life while you've got it. Revenue share doesn't stop there, though. It rewards you, just like, I will just tell you guys, this was modeled after the Keller Williams profit share program, which came out in 1987, which created the largest real estate company in history, Keller Williams, until eXp came along. Give us about 1.5 years, and you'll see it all over the headlines that eXp will have passed up Keller Williams, and we will have become the largest real estate company on the planet in a very short amount of years, less than 15 years. We will be the biggest real estate company on this planet, and that's really exciting. Well, all Glenn Sanford did was say, we're going to take this brokerage virtual. We're going to eliminate all the overhead from the unnecessary overhead. For example, at my last at my brokerage my last KW that I ran, my monthly rent was $35,000 a month for a 20,000 square foot building. I had to pay a lady at the front desk $38,000 a year to pick up the phone and go hello and say hello and goodbye to the people coming out of the office. We've wiped all that out. We've taken those dollars, those unnecessary brick and mortar, pre-COVID way of doing business dollars, and we redirected a lot of that revenue and income back to the real estate agents. By the way, we're the ones that create all that money. So don't you think we should be rewarded the most? I think so. I think brokers should be called richers. Some of these brokers make so much money because they're leveraging the efforts of us. Well, at eXp, it's not quite that same way. We have the opportunity to go out there literally about 7 or 8 different ways to create different income streams. At most brokerages, you have one way: go sell a house, get 3%. That's it. You don't have equity. You don't have agent referral programs. You don't have, dividends on your stock that you're getting quarterly. You don't have mentor commissions that you can generate, and all the other different ways that we create income here at eXp. So for those of you that are interested in creating a business inside your real estate business, revenue share is perfect. It allows you to create a team of like-minded individuals that join you here, and then they go find like-minded individuals that join them, and so on and so forth. And now you're getting compensated on 7 different tiers of production, as opposed to just that one level of production. So this literally allows you to create a kind of a brokerage within a brokerage without having to carry the compliance matters on your shoulders. That we have brokers that handle all of that. We've got a broker in every state, at least one broker. I know in Arizona we have 5, California there's like 10 brokers, but we've got brokers in every country, every city, every state, or every state, I should say, every province, wherever it is in the world. So revenue share is an opportunity for you to create passive income, so you don't end up like that 78-year-old lady, 113-degree weather at 10 o'clock in Scottsdale, Arizona, that's schlepping those open house signs when she shouldn't be doing that, right? It just, every time I saw it, it just made my heart sink. Like I just felt like going over there and taking her signs and pulling them out for her and all that. But, that's just the way it is at most of the old brick and mortar model. It's akin to Amazon coming along, guys, and wiping out stores that I grew up in. Like I grew up in Sears and Roebuck. I grew up going to Kmart with my mom to the blue light specials. And some of you don't even know what that is, because those companies are gone. Sears Roebuck, I remember, that their catalog was that thick. We would sit on it in the car so we could see above the window. And those companies are gone thanks to technology and cloud-based technology that eXp is utilizing. So revenue share is another income stream that you can create here, in addition to our stock and in addition to all the other commissions that we earn. Let me go back. There we go. So here we go, guys. That's our compensation. There's a lot more to it, but certainly get back to the person that invited you tonight if you're a guest to learn more, get your questions answered. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. This is the genius behind it all. And I say genius with all sincerity, because that he is. I've been told that his IQ is around 171, which is about 11 points higher than Albert Einstein. So he is classified as a genius. Not only that, he's just a really cool dude. Glenn's a nice guy. He's a runner, marathoner. Every day he's out there running 5, 6, 7 miles and telling us all about it. But he took his Keller Williams experience in 2008 when everything crashed and said, you know what? We don't need all these offices. No one's coming into them anyway. We're going to start our own brokerage. It's going to be cloud-based. If it works, we're going to make a lot of money. If it doesn't, oh, well, we'll find some other thing to do, I guess. But that's what he did. And today the man is worth over $3 billion. So it definitely worked. He's made more millionaires at eXp than any of our competition. I think someone said he's made more millionaires than all of our competition combined, just in the handful of years that we've been in business since 2009. So thank you, Glenn Sanford, for changing so many lives. We really appreciate it. As I mentioned earlier, June of 19 is when I left Keller Williams and came over to eXp. We had right around 17,000 agents. Today we've got 88,000. To me, this number says it all. Like if something doesn't make you turn your stomach inside when you see this number, as my friend used to say, if this doesn't get you fired up, your wood's all wet. To me, this is all you need to see. Why has 88,000 people come here, in just a handful of years? It's because they want more freedom. They want more money. They want more time with their family. They want better technology. They want ownership. They want an exit strategy. They don't want to schlep out, sell houses till they're 80 years of age. They want to be able to enjoy their life and not have to grind it out till they die. And so that's why there's such an exodus away from all these old traditional Kmart, Sears and Roebuck, brick and mortar brands, coming to this new Amazon brand, eXp Realty, that's cloud-based, that's changing the world. We don't have our 22 numbers published yet. Our shareholders meeting is on February 28th, but our 21 numbers blew our 2020 numbers away. And both of those years were the biggest years so far in our history. And both of them happen to be in 100-year pandemic years when all of our competition were shutting their doors because of government mandates. We never missed a beat. And we just kept on going. We kept adding agents. You can see our 21 numbers. We had a 72% increase in agent growth, 86% increase in our transactional sides. We more than doubled our volume, more than doubled our revenue. And I'm just so excited to see the shareholder numbers that are coming out here in just a few days, because I'm certain that our 22 numbers are going to be, they're going to blow the industry away. So the numbers are all up and to the right, and that's a good sign. You want to be with a company who's going up and to the right, not down and to the right, that's for sure. Here's just a quick look at our international footprint. That's a little bit outdated because I know we've added Poland, we've added Dubai. So literally we've added like 22 countries in the last year and a half. We've got another 25 countries that will be added in the next year and a half, 2 years. The company is just blowing up all over the world. And when all of these countries that we've added, mature and they get the agents, and, we go in and hire the brokers and the staff and help them get all set up. We go out there and start, inviting agents to take a look at eXp. But once these countries all get up and they're cranking, this company's revenue is going to go through the roof. Our profitability is already going through the roof, but it's going to go through the roof even more. Not that this is impressive to anybody. I'm certainly not here to impress anybody, but maybe to impress upon a few of you. My degree is in business management. You don't have to have a degree in anything. When you look at this map, if you understand basic fundamentals of business, you add 21 countries in 1 year to a brokerage. Just give it 5 years. We're going to take over the whole planet when it comes to eXp. We're going to be everywhere because we have the best real estate model for real estate agents in existence. And here we go right here. This is really what it's all about. Cloud-based, right? That's what our model is. The old world, we went to Kmart and Sears and went to Blockbuster and Circuit City. It's like I bought my first flat screen TV at Circuit City. You can't even find a Circuit City. They're out of business thanks to Amazon. I used to whistle when I go down to downtown New York. When I used to work for Revlon Cosmetics, I would whistle really loud to hail a cab. Today, we pick up our little smartphones that make us feel dumb. We push a couple buttons and our chauffeur shows up to pick us up, in our nice little Uber car or Lyft car, right? So these cloud-based companies, Airbnb does over $100 billion a year in revenue. They don't own a single hotel. They've really crushed the hospitality industry, and eXp is doing the exact same thing to the brick and mortar aspect of real estate. You do not need expensive leases and buildings to succeed as a realtor. You do not need it. I was the guy that managed those 3 offices, and I'd have to go out there and shoo agents out because all they were doing at the bullpen was BSing and talking about their fishing trip and, talking about their ex-wife or whatever. It's like the stuff that happens in our world doesn't happen in a building. It happens out there in the trenches working with our clients. So eXp's technology and innovation has changed the way realtors get paid. It's changed the way that we serve our clients in a remarkable way. Why would I want to drive down to pick up something for $10 when tomorrow or even the same day I could have Amazon deliver it right to my doorstep, right? So it's the same kind of mindset when it comes to eXp. So our business model, I've already talked about, it's cloud-based. You can work it anywhere in the world. You could be at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got an internet connection or a cell phone connection, with our technology, you can be in touch with your brokers, your clients. You can have access to anything that you need anywhere around the world. The training here is second to none. I remember when I first came to eXp 3.5 years ago, I thought somebody was smoking crack because they told me that 20 hours a week was live training. I'm like, there ain't no way this company could do 20. I couldn't get 10 agents to show up for 1 hour out of 400 agents to learn from the Jesus Christ of farming. So I can't believe that they can do 20 hours a week because I couldn't get any of my agents to show up, right? Maybe a few of them, but that was then. That was 3.5 years ago. It's 20 hours a week. Now we're 4 times that. So literally today, you would have 2 full-time jobs if you attended all the trainings that we provide on a weekly basis. Do the math, 4 times 80, that's 320 hours of not recorded live training that you can show up to in your pajamas with your bed hair and in a virtual setting with no one looking at you. And yet you can ask questions, you can interact with the presenter, you can see their PowerPoint without ever leaving the comfort of your home. And the training is absolutely the best in the industry. It's mind-boggling. But that's what you can do without borders. When you have borders and boundaries and territories and franchise, little cutouts, you can't do this kind of stuff. You can't provide this kind of level of service to real estate agents. So 80 hours a week of live training. Our metaverse, our virtual office, we are the only brokerage on planet Earth that has this technology. Glenn Sanford started using this technology from a company called Verbella that created this virtual technology. And a couple of years after he was using, he said, this is exactly what we need. And he bought the company for almost $9 million cash. And so I made a little minute-long clip here. One of the first things you do when you download our software is you create what's called an avatar. I didn't even know what an avatar was, but that's my little avatar, my 1979 weight of 178 pounds. I made myself looking pretty sexy there, my blue shirt. But anyway, it's really easy to move around. I'm 61, guys. I didn't grow up gaming. I figured this out in like 2 minutes. It's really simple. So if you want to go to a training, it's in the main auditorium. You just go up there to the go-to, click on main auditorium. Within a few seconds, those of you that are old enough to remember Star Trek, your little avatar will teleport into the auditorium just like mine did there. You see that lady up in the nosebleed section there. It really doesn't matter where you end up in our auditoriums. You can sit anywhere you want, or you can stand. You're virtual. You can be laying down in your bed, but your avatar can be standing up because we have these little magnifying glasses up here at the top. You just simply click on those and they'll blow up the various screens or the stage or what have you, so that it doesn't matter if you're sitting clear up the nosebleed, you're still got the greatest seat in the house. You're not going to miss anything. We've got a little chat section down there in the bottom left-hand corner. You can chat with the presenter. There's a raise hand button down there. You can raise your hand and ask questions. There's a mute button in the bottom left-hand corner there. You just click on that to unmute your microphone on your computer. You want to go talk to your broker, you do not need to drive in your car to go talk to your broker. That's ridiculous. That's called, it's 1985 and we want our brokerage back calling, right? You just simply go into this little thing we call the eXp Metaverse, our world, click on a button and boom, you're in your broker's office. You click on that little blue machine over there with your cursor, puts you in the queue, about 15 seconds, the broker calls you back, you have a private conversation with your broker. You can do that as many times as you want throughout the day, throughout the week. You have some problems with technology, we got a full-blown tech department with all of our Geek Squad guys they can even remote into your computer like they did mine when I first started here and fix settings that may be off or not working properly with our technology. Anything and everything that you could do in a traditional $35,000 a month, 20,000 square foot building like I had with KW, you can do here bigger, better, and faster because of our technology. And we're the only brokerage, like I said, that owns this technology. I'll never go back ever to a brick and mortar experience. Never, ever, especially with all the craziness that's happening in our world today. One of the huge reasons why so many agents, I know because I just helped one of my agents bring over a $40 million producing team about 2 weeks ago. And this gentleman, I invited him on tonight, but he's in Disneyland with his children. Pablo came over to eXp, brought his team over here because for the last 21 years, his CRM has been an Excel spreadsheet. He's never really wanted to, pay $500 a month for a CRM. So he came over here because of KV Core. So KV Core, as most of you know, is the Cadillac of our industry when it comes to client relationship management software. It's where the vast majority of all of your leads are going to come from, are going to come through this system. It's so robust. It literally is amazing. I've been using this program now for 3.5 years, and I'm like a baby, an infant, and learning the totality of all that it will do. But this is a $450 to $500 a month cost for Coldwell Banker agents, Sotheby agents, anybody that's outside of eXp that's using KV Core. They're paying almost $6,000 a year for this, $5,000 a year, and we get it here free. It's just part of our little monthly fee that we pay. SkySlope is our compliance platform. It's where you upload all your paperwork so the brokers can review it, sign off on it so you can get paid on time. We use Workplace and Work Chat, which is basically Facebook and Instant Messenger but it's specifically and exclusively for eXp because Mark Zuckerberg created it for businesses. And so this is our the way we communicate with each other. It's where the vast majority of all your referrals are going to come from. Just this morning, I'm literally sitting here, my phone goes off, and all of my friends around eXp started tagging me because someone said they needed a buyer's agent in Southern Idaho. And so they're tagging Anthony Hughes, Anthony Hughes, Anthony Hughes. And I thought how cool it is to have friends looking out from my, my back and tagging me so that I can see, so I can reach out to this agent and say, hey, I would be happy to help you with your client here in Southern Idaho, right? So Workplace and Work Chat are two products that I had never even heard of until I came to eXp, and I'm addicted to the Workplace and Work Chat. I'm on there constantly. I got my notifications blowing up all day long. I don't care. I love it. There's business coming in every single day of the week into Workplace. Regis, this is another understated value proposition that we get here at eXp that nobody else gets in this industry. And that is we connected and signed a contract worldwide with a company called Regis. Look them up, regis.com, the largest rental office space company in the world. They bought out another company called Spaceworks, I believe, or Spaces. And we literally have a worldwide membership. Thanks to Glenn Sanford and this great brokerage, we can walk into any Regis in the world. There's over 3,000 locations now. I know in Maricopa County in Phoenix, Arizona, there's 26 offices, 26 places. We can walk in and use all their shared space. They've got beautiful top of the line latte machines and refrigerators, microwaves, sinks, Coca-Cola machines, vending machines. You can go there every day of the week, 5 days a week, put your food in the refrigerator, nuke it in the microwave, meet your buyers there, do buyers consultations, have team meetings there, and not pay 1 red cent for rent. And you get this every single day for the rest of your career. You can walk into let's say you're in Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, and you got $1 million deal going south on you, and you need to get to an office stat. Just go on your cell phone, type in regis.com, type in Bogota, and it'll show you all the Regis offices right around your cell phone. You just take your Uber to that nearest Regis, and they all use the same password. As soon as you walk in, if you've already been into one Regis and connected to their Wi-Fi, you're connected in Bogota, Colombia, and you can hopefully keep that deal from going south. So it connects us all around the world with offices that we can go to without having to pay rent and use their shared office space and all the benefits that come along with it without having to pay for it. So this is something generously that Glenn Sanford has provided us. I'm very grateful for this benefit and thankful that I don't have to pay for it. And I'm also thankful that I get to use it when I'm on vacations with my wife anywhere that we travel around the world without charge. Our mentor program, won't say a lot about that other than it's genius. It's mano-a-mano, one-on-one, working with a very seasoned real estate professional. If you're brand new and you haven't had any production, we put you in the mentor program for 3 deals. Your first 3 deals, you're on a 60-40 split instead of an 80-20 split. That extra 20%, 10 of it goes to your mentor and 10 of it goes to what's called eXp University, which helps to augment some of our live training costs for new agents. So if you're a brand new agent with no production, you will be assigned a local mentor that will work with you one-on-one, mano-a-mano, hold your hand through those first 3 transactions so that you get off to a great start. That extra 20% investment out of your commission will be the best investment you've ever made in your real estate business. That I can assure you, because I was the one that used to hire these people at Keller Williams called productivity coaches. They couldn't keep up with me. I'd recruit 25 agents in a month, throw them in their program, that just got their license out of school, and they've already got 10 agents in the program. Now you got 35, and you got to figure out a way to get 5 minutes of your coach's time. One person cannot handle 35 people, but one person can handle one person in a remarkable way. And so that's why we're generating so much success with new agents, because they get the benefit of working with people like Tom Trong, Tony Hughes, and others that are on this Zoom tonight that have had years and years of production experience. So that's our mentor program for brand new agents. Health insurance. I'm not here to sell anybody health insurance. I'm just grateful that Glenn Sanford partnered with this company called Clearwater Benefits. I was paying about $900 a month with United Healthcare before I switched to this healthcare product. Now I'm paying $560 a month for me and my wife. That's a huge savings. I literally just got my colonoscopy 100% free. She's doing hers on like next month, 100% free. All of our prescription drugs, because they're generic, we get them 100% free. So not only are we saving money on our prescriptions and our preventative stuff and screenings, but we're saving money, every single month by hundreds of dollars because Glenn Sanford brought us this incredible product. And I think we're the only brokerage, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're the only brokerage in the world that offers healthcare to their agents, which I think is another huge benefit. And I am a customer of our health product here at eXp, and I can assure you it's incredible. I love it. So that's another great benefit. Again, guys, how can we provide all of this when we only charge $85 a month? Like, how do we get a membership to Regis? How do we get KV Core? How do we get all this stuff, healthcare that we can get at a major discount for $85 a month? It's because we don't have buildings. We don't have buildings. We don't have that person that we had to, say hello and goodbye for $35,000 a year. It's ridiculous, some of the stuff we had to, pay for. So we don't have all that unnecessary expense. That expense, instead of going into our founder's pocket, he's very generous. He saw this at Keller Williams when he came to EXP and created eXp. He wanted to reward the biggest producers. And that's why he came out with this virtual platform, because he knew that if he had a virtual platform, a cloud-based platform, that would free up a lot of overhead that he could reward agents with with our equity program, revenue sharing, that sort of thing. We've got access to discounted business cards. We've got over 5,000 pre-made marketing pieces. My degree is in marketing. I used to be a content creator every single day of the week. Now I don't have to do anything. I'm like twiddling my thumbs. I don't need to make brochures. I don't need to make that. It's all online. I can download my headshot, my license number, email, phone number, website, everything is already on it, print and go. And I don't have to worry about spending 2 hours creating a marketing piece because eXp's already provided it for us. They also subsidize our cost on our signage. We get free shipping, anywhere from 30 to 60% off our for sale signs, open house signs, our riders, our frames, all of that. So again, another great subsidy from the company and a great discount with our friends over at Build a Sign, which is the company that we use. So wrapping up here, folks, tonight, again, we're an 80-20 split unless you're brand new. Those first 3 deals are 60-40. There's a $16,000 cap. Once you cap, you go to 100% commission with a very small transaction fee that's removed out of your commission, but basically you're at 100% until your anniversary kicks in. And once your anniversary kicks in, you hit your 1 year mark, then you go back to the 80-20. But I'm just going to say it. I hope he's listening. If he's not on tonight, I hope he listens to it later on. There's a young man on my team. His name is Merrick Davis. He was on here a couple weeks ago. He was 22 a year ago. He's 23 now. 22, he sold 84 homes. At 23, he sold 103 homes. Individual, solo agent. Came over after 2 years with Keller Williams. He started, I think, at 19 with KW. Was doing pretty well at Keller Williams. Came over here and just blew it up. And that young man caps literally after about a month and a half, 2 months, let's call it. So he gets 100% of his commission for 10 months in a row until his anniversary, because he's closing 7-8 deals, usually a month. But let's say it takes him 2 months. Okay, it takes him 2 months, but now he gets 100% for 10 more months until his anniversary kicks in. There's a one-time startup cost of $64. It's actually $149, but that includes your first month's technology and training fee, which covers everything, your Regis, KV Core, all of it, the virtual technology. So it's $85 is included in the $149 your first month. Starting month 2, they start dinging your credit card for that little $85 fee. This is where a lot of new, younger agents get themselves into trouble, because they'll compare just based on their economic status at this point in their life. They'll compare our monthly cost to maybe a company that is like, a no-name company that has like $25 training fee, and they don't put 2 and 2 together, that they haven't had enough life experience, let's call it, to know that you get what you pay for in this life. And if you're paying $25, trust me, you ain't getting nothing for that, especially if they've all got buildings and overhead. They're barely keeping their nose above water. They're just about ready to die as a brokerage. So don't allow that $85. If you think that's a lot because of where you are in your economic status, you just haven't been around long enough to understand that is the cheapest investment you will have here at eXp. It's the best investment you'll ever make and it's $85. I just spent $80. I think it was, I could get my receipt out. It was a little over $80 today for lunch with my bride at Johnny Carino's Italian restaurant. So literally for less than lunch, you can pay it for all of your expenses here at eXp. The only other two fees we have are transactional. They're not monthly fees. And this is after you get paid. So once you're paid, the company takes $25 out of your commission. That's how we pay our brokers. It's a very unique way of managing our broker compensation, but it's great because they love it, because the more people that join, the more houses that get sold, the more money they know they're going to make as well. The way we handle our E&O errors and omissions is $40 at closing, and that caps at $500 a year. So once you do about 13 transactions, the only thing that comes out of your commission check is that $25 until your anniversary kicks in. Then it'll be the $65 a month until you cap at your $500 for E&O. So that is really about what I wanted to share tonight, folks. For those of you that are looking at eXp for the very first time, this is the website where the magic happens. This is where you go to join eXp Realty. Certainly, you're going to want to get back with a person that invited you here, because the joining application, it's not because of all the technology that we have. It takes a little bit of time to get through that, maybe 20, 25 minutes, something like that. But get back with that person, and I'm going to just entertain questions at this point. What time is it? Did I go? Okay, I'm good. So right now,
great. You're doing great, Tony.
Okay, Tom, good. So right now, what we could do is, if anybody wants to talk shop, if you have any questions about eXp that I can address, certainly I'm happy to address those questions. I know, Tom, you're coming on here in about 10 minutes to break down our revenue share, which I really didn't go into a lot of detail on that because I wanted to save it for you. But those of you that really want to understand, when I say revenue share, most of you don't get it. And I don't care if you're with eXp or not. Most of you don't get it. This company shares 50%. Okay, if we make $10 billion in revenue, $5 billion goes back to the agents, right? It's 50% of our revenue gets shared back to our agents. We could not do that and be in business for the last 13 years, 14 years. If we had buildings, we would have been broke, within our first year or two. We would have been bankrupt. But because we don't have all the buildings, we're a virtual brokerage, the first virtual brokerage in the world. We can do that. We have the money to do it. And we're probably one of the, Tom, I know you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're one of the most profit-rich brokerages in existence today in terms of cash money in the bank.
100%. 100%. I have not found another publicly traded real estate brokerage in the residential world that is even close to profitability in terms of what we push out.
They're scared. I can't say the word. They're scared crapless. Let's say that. They're scared right now because the market shifted. Things have slowed down a little bit in a lot of markets, and a lot of these brokerages are literally hanging on by their fingernails. We know that because so many brokerages are shutting down and moving their brokerages to eXp. Why do you want to go through that stress? Why do you want to do all that compliance crap and be worried about all the legal stuff that goes along with all that? Why not just let somebody else do that and you just go have fun again? Like, enjoy real estate like you did when you first got going in it, right? So that's really our mantra. The fact that COVID came around in 2020 really put a cherry on top of our virtual brokerage here, guys, because everybody else had to shut down, like I said. We just kept on going. And I could be in an auditorium with 1,800 other agents, which I have been here at eXp, in my pajamas, not worrying about anybody coughing or sneezing. I've had COVID twice. I'm unvaccinated. It damn near killed me the first time. I just won't get vaccinated because I'm anti-vax kind of guy. But it doesn't matter with eXp. I can be in a room with 1,800 people and not have to worry about getting, a communicable disease because I'm in my own house, not surrounded. But I am surrounded. It's just virtual avatars. They're humans represented with these little characters, which took me a minute, honestly, to get my arms around that. But gosh, after about 2 or 3 days of using it, I'm like, why in the hell would I want to pay $4 or $5 a gallon for gas to drive 20 minutes across town to go pick up my commission check or go to a training on whatever, when I could do it right from the comfort of my own home and not have to spend a penny on wear and tear on my vehicle? So, all All right, with that, Tom, we've got a few minutes. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to fire them off. If not, we'll just go ahead and take a little intermission here.
Let's do some questions first, and then we would love to do some testimonials for all those agents who have been around. Go ahead and give the testimonials. Let's do questions first.
Love to hear some of those for sure.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ariana.
Hey, Ariana.
Hi, Ariana.
Hey, so I am a Keller product. So I'm curious, the office fees, when you add it all up, it's the $150 one time, and then it's going to be $150 per month.
It's $149 one time. That's it. You pay $85 a month is your monthly fee, and that doesn't start until your second month. Great question. Thank you for clarifying that.
Okay.
It's $85. That's it.
Okay, and then that's technology.
Everything. There's no, I'm not trying to bamboozle you or anybody else on here tonight. What I'm telling you is straight what it is. There's no gotchas. There's no, oh, that guy didn't tell me about that one. I'm telling you, that's it. $85. It covers the whole kit and caboodle.
So the E&O is per transaction?
Correct. Just like it is at Keller Williams, $40. Difference between KW and eXp when it comes to E&O is there's no cap at KW on E&O. So I'm friends with Carol Royce out of Phoenix. Her team does over 500 transactions a year. That lady pays over $20,000 a year just in E&O. When if she would have moved her team to eXp, she'd be paying $500 a year max for her E&O. Yep.
When I owned my franchise brokerage, I charged $395 per transaction fee. That included the E&O. And I can tell you that was a profit line for me, right? The agents thinks it's an expense, but it was actually a profit line for me. I'd make up to $5,000 per agent per year for errors and omissions insurance for the heavy hitters. At eXp, we cap it at $500.
It's a profit center for most brokerages for sure.
And by the way, the 85, Ariana, includes your KV Core, your Sky Slope, your eXp Enterprise, the Avatar World, all of the training, all of the support. It's just 85, like Tony said.
Gotcha.
Nothing.
And it's 100% tax deductible.
Great.
You can write that sucker off.
Yes, Colin mentioned this marketing center as well. There's over 5,000 marketing pieces that you can log in right now and log online right now and curate and customize for yourself, all for free.
If you believe that time is money, then our marketing center is worth $85 times about 10. Just as that alone. If you just got rid of everything else and just the marketing piece alone, just the time that I've saved not having to worry about creating, open house flyers or whatever, it's listing presentations, it's all there. And it takes literally seconds to download and print them off on your, I'm looking over here because that's where my printer is, but literally print go, or you can have them professionally printed and shipped to you through eXp at a very nominal fee if you want to do that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess
just said, go ahead.
Another thing, do you see that price rising in the next few years?
The rumors I'm hearing is they're actually talking about dropping it. So I don't see it rising. I think we cover all of our bases with that little fee.
Okay.
When I started with eXp, just so you know, from my perspective, Ariana and everybody else, I started with eXp 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, I'm a financial guy by training. And I looked at our balance sheet and our profit and loss statement, how much we owe people. And back then, 5 years ago, we owed nobody nothing. We had $2.3 million in our savings account for the company. This is high level stuff. Today, we're over 123 million in our bank account. So that goes to show, to answer your question, we're very profitable, right? So I don't see us raising it, just like Tony said.
We haven't been around since 1983 either. We've only been around since 2009. So we're just getting started.
Yeah, Carl had mentioned, in our marketing center, we have a buyer presentation, seller presentations. You'd be surprised how many agents I meet on the street. And I ask them, hey, if you got a call right now, right, at 7:24 p.m. Eastern time, and the seller wants you to show up at a listing presentation tomorrow at 8 a.m. because they're getting a divorce and they want out. Are you ready? Can you touch base with your broker and ask he or she to help you with the listing presentation right now? The answer obviously is no way,
No.
right? On a marketing center, you can bang it out right now.
Literally. Yeah, like I said, my degree was in marketing, Tom, and I when I got over here, I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with all my time? It's like all I got to do is hit a button and it comes out on my printer now. So, and it looks way better than the stuff I created. We really have to give our hats off to our marketing team. They do a great job supporting all of us out in the field. Great question, Adriana. I think that's your name, Ariana. There we go. My old eyes. Sorry about that. Anybody else have any questions before we take a brief intermission and get ready for Tom Trong in session 3? All right. Well, guys, it's been my honor. I hope if you're a guest tonight that you enjoyed this overview. We're not, some people that I bring to eXp, they always say, you know what I like about your style, Tony, is you didn't pressure me. You didn't really recruit me. And I said, if I recruit you, I'm doing it the wrong way. I want you to recruit yourself. I'm not looking for someone to be in business with me for 6 months or a year. I'm looking for people that want to be in business with me for the rest of my life, right? And so there's a big difference there. And that's the other great thing about eXp too, when it comes to our agent referral program. There's good agents and there's bad agents. And we don't have to talk to the bad ones. Just leave them where they are. We don't want those guys at eXp. We just want the good agents to come to eXp, right? So we get to choose who we surround ourselves with when it comes to building out our teams over here as well, which I love. So in corporate America, you do not have that luxury. You get to work with the people that sit next to you in those cubicles, or, you know, whoever, whatever job you've got, you've just got to put up with those people every day of the week. In real estate, we don't have to do that. We get to choose who we work with, and we can surround ourselves with very positive, affluent people that know they're wizards of their craft, and they're willing to share it with anybody that's willing to ask for help. And that's the beauty of our culture at eXp, because Tom Trong and I are totally classic examples of the beauty of our culture at eXp. We are not on the same team. We do not make one penny helping each other, doing these things on Wednesdays. It doesn't matter. We all own this brokerage collectively, cumulatively, those of us that are selling anyway and have shares of stock. So it doesn't matter if I help Tom or he helps me, it helps the company. And if the company does better, that means the investors are going to see that our profits are going up. And if our profits are going up, they're going to want to invest more in our stock. And when they invest in our stock, that means the supply and demand kicks in, and now our stock price goes up. And when our stock price goes up, guess what? All of our net worth goes up. So I don't care who asks for help. Just ask for help if you need it. Just too many agents are.
Tony, you're not too excited, are you?
I'm fired up, Tom. Can you tell? Come on, man. Let's get this party started right up in here. Let's go. All right.
All right, everybody else, please ask your question now or give your testimony on now. Otherwise, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back at 30 minutes past the hour. Which
I got so excited. I got to go pee, Tom.
I know, man. All right.
They better
We'll be
cut
back in
that
2
out.
minutes.
Edit that.